Hello and welcome to I Am Geek, and this is episode 86. I know what you're thinking. Are you guys still alive? We haven't heard from you in like
Where'd you go?
two to 3 weeks or something. I don't know. But
It's like last year.
it was like a year ago. Well, not a year ago, but
last year. Anyway.
last year. As you may notice, there's a voice missing, and it's my brother Chris.
We had to let him go.
Sadly, he mismanaged some funds, went on a cruise. Not really.
So that's why we had 2 weeks off.
Yes.
We had to figure out how to start this thing back up again.
We had to, get some private investigators to track him down.
It's messy.
It was messy. It was messy.
Yeah.
Which was, I told them to send me proof. I didn't know that they would send me like his thumb as proof that they got him. So that was a little weird to get that in the mail.
At least it was his thumb.
Yeah. So I don't know how that will hurt his animation skills. I guess he could just.
He probably doesn't use his thumb for that. I don't know.
Probably not.
Probably not.
And no, he's sick. He's still with us.
He's very sick.
He's very sick. That's another thing. The Street family, we were all together for Christmas, and we all got sick. And we kept passing it around because kids, when you have small children, they do that.
That's what happens.
There's these little germ factories, and they keep passing it around.
Yeah.
So he's still sick.
Oh.
And we're all still getting over it, which was bad because we all got this cold, and then after that, I got some stomach virus thing, and it was a bad stomach virus. And my wife didn't believe me, she was just like, "You're fine. There's nothing wrong with you." And I was like throwing up and everything. And then she was like, "It's not that bad." And then she got it after me, and she was like, I was like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "This is the worst thing ever." And she was like, just on the floor in the bathroom, was like, "Please make it stop." And I'm like, I didn't. I was trying to be a good husband, but I just wanted to be like, "I told you so. You wouldn't believe me, and now you have it. Now you know." And she was just like, "I can't move. I can't do." Like, I told you. It's like that's why I wanted to, because when I get sick, if I get sick like that, I just want to go to a room, be alone, and get better, so I don't make other people sick.
Well, sure.
And she was like, "No, we need your help. You need to do this with the kids. You need to do that." I'm like throwing up. I'm sick. And she's like, "No, you're fine." And I'm like, "See, if I'd went to the room, like I said, and just waited it out, nobody else would have got sick. But you got sick, so there you go."
Unfortunate.
Yeah. So we're all still trying to go.
Yeah.
The little one still got a cold. She's all snotty and nasty. But so yeah, that's what we've been doing. We had Christmas, we had New Year's, all sick.
I guess we had a Thanksgiving episode, but yeah, Christmas,
and we had a Geekmas episode that nobody listened to, but
we had some.
For the 42 people that listened to it, thank you.
Thanks. We got a new follower today, by the way, on SoundCloud, so that's something.
Other ones are getting more and more listens, but for some reason, people don't like Christmas.
What do you have against Christmas?
It was a funny episode. Listen to it. It was funny.
Let's listen right now.
Okay, here we go. And play.
Hello
and welcome to I Am Geek.
What in the world?
Anyway, so we're just going to do like a short episode today, and then hopefully my brother will be back with us within the week, and we'll do a longer episode. But we wanted to, maybe talk about our little vacation, if you want to call it that, and then what's to come, like what's going to be coming up in the weeks ahead, and whatever else we want to talk about, because we can do that. I guess Chris isn't here to control us.
It's our show. We can do what we want to do.
So did you have a fun break and New Year's and all that?
I did. I was trying to think. It's been so long since Christmas, it feels like. So I was trying to think back of what all we did. We went to my in-laws, and I only got to spend basically the weekend and then Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and I had to come back home Christmas evening, and that was great. But but I did get to play lots of video games, so there's that.
So
But one thing my son now does is drive.
he's what?
He's 7.
7.
7.5. He will tell you, but so I guess I'll clarify. He can drive a what do you call a mule? It's like the off-road vehicles, or not, or like if you've heard of a gator. It's
He drives weird animals. He drives
like
gators
a utility.
and
Yeah, so it's
mules.
gators and mules. Yeah, and actually, I guess he was driving the gator most of the time. So 4-wheel vehicle, drives like a car. It's got a gas pedal. He can shift it into low or high. And he started out months ago doing the steering wheel while we pushed the gas pedal. The beginning of this trip, I let him do the pedals himself, do the shifting himself, and he's a pro. And he would go out every day while we were there, and after I left, and he would go drive and with my father-in-law. And he got to where he was driving by himself in the vehicle because my father-in-law was like, let me go drive this one over here and you follow me. It's like, oh my gosh. So he's really good at it. He's very careful. He only ran into the clubhouse once. They have a clubhouse or lodge out in Arkansas, and we had to work on his braking or his stopping because at first he was trying to hit the brake really hard, and all you have to do is kind of let up on the gas and it'll roll to a stop. It's not like we're going super fast, and he would brake and we'd kind of go through the windshield almost, but so I'm imagining, because I don't know what happened when he ran into the house, but it wasn't bad. It was just, you could see a mark on the side of the house though, and because it's like wood paneling or whatever. But I'm sure he was just going too fast and just let off the gas and just kind of let it roll on into the house. But that was the highlight, I think, of his Christmas, and he would do that every day if he could. So if we could do it here, but
so you didn't have to get him any presents. You could just be like,
I should have got. Speaking of presents, he was very disappointed. I told you on the last episode. No, he was fine with it. I thought I heard somebody come, but he was wanting all these things, and the things that he wanted were each like $300. I was like,
of course,
there's no way, but it's Santa, all right? So Santa didn't bring those. He got one of the things, and he's like, well, I guess there's always next year. And he had plenty of things, it wasn't like he was lacking. But
I get to see him do that. He's opening his presents, and he's like, well, I guess there's always next year.
He kind of looks around. He's like, well, I guess that's it. He's got more presents than anybody in the house. And I'm just like, God, my kid, but he's fine. He's happy now. He plays with 2 of the gifts, I'm sure, that he got. So, of the 20 or whatever it was, but he did get, we talked about this the other day, and I'll stop talking, but,
no, you're fine. It's just us. I mean, talk as much as you want.
We talked about the gifts in the top gifts of every year in the Geekmas episode, right? And we talked about Beyblades. That was one from one of the years. So last night we were hanging out with some neighbors and a kid that's his age, and they were talking about their Beyblades. It's like, you got to come see my Beyblades, and they're having a sleepover tomorrow night, and they're big into it. So I was like, crap, we gotta go get some Beyblades. And so my wife and son went today after school because they're like, we gotta have this tomorrow because we can't have them fighting over because the Beyblades, because they act like brothers. So they're both only childs, which has that going. They has some challenges, I should say. But they act like brothers, so it's kind of funny, and then it's kind of annoying at the same time. But so we've got to get him some Beyblades so that they can battle and they're not fighting over them, right?
Yeah.
So we ended up they found one that was like $10, and they were about to go pay for it, and they passed this clearance aisle, and there was for the same, no, actually less amount of money. It was an arena, which is basically a plastic box, right, that they go in, and 2 Beyblades with the launchers and everything for $9. It was ridiculous. So he's excited. I tried them out. I'd never played with them when I was a kid, but they kept falling apart. I don't know if you ever messed with Beyblades, but you have to put
No.
them together, and they have different. So there's three parts. There's this top part. And this may be the new ones. I don't know if the old ones are like this. I don't know, but it has this. Is the two that he has. One's called an attacker, and another one is defender. The attacker has these things kind of sticking out so that it can hit things,
Yeah.
attack. And he told me today, he said, I wish you could, when you launch the attacker, it would go down and spin and shoot out weapons. I said, well, that's not going to happen. But
We can attach some steak knives to them.
yeah, but it has this top decorative piece, and then there's this middle piece that kind of holds it all together, and then the tip or the part that it spins on, that it locks it all in together. And there's also the defender is just basically rounded. It doesn't have anything sticking out, and it does very well if you, I don't know, if you do it right. It won't fall over or whatever. So, anyways, they kept falling apart once we started playing with them a lot. So I don't know if we.
That's why they're
$9. I know. It's like this must be the cheap ones. I can just about guarantee you the ones that when we were kids or whenever that was out, those were probably higher quality because they just made stuff better back then, right?
Yeah.
The toys didn't fall apart, but it's still cool. He's excited. He'll get his good hour out of it and move on to the next thing. Kids.
Yeah, we had to because we went to Tennessee and we're in Texas. Yeah. We had to rent a U-Haul trailer to get everything back because when you go visit grandparents and family and stuff, because we were gone since before Thanksgiving, because just worked out that way. People just kept giving our kids stuff, and I'm just like, what? How are we gonna get all this stuff back? So to rent a trailer because, like, for his big Christmas present, like he learned to drive too. But he learned to drive a train. He got a freaking train they can ride on that has a track. It was like, I don't know, for the people my age, if you remember Silver Spoons, the TV show, they had a train a toy like train that went through their house on a track, and they would ride it through the house. It's like that. It's like what's that fancy toy company?
Oh, the FAO Schwartz.
Yep, that's what it is.
Yeah,
it's an FAO Schwartz train that he can ride around in a big circle. So now it's set up in our living room.
Great.
So with our couch and then a big train set. But he's just like he's about to pass the weight limit. But our youngest, she she'll get on it and she'll like put her arm up like she's doing the train horn. She's only like 1.5. She's like, woo. So it's fun, but he loves it. But it was it's big, and so took up part of the trailer and all his other toys.
And did he get 2 helicopters? Isn't that what you said?
Yeah, he got multiple helicopters. I think he got. Well, I went on. Well, Santa brought him multiple helicopters.
Yeah, of course.
Because it was a pack of them for cheap on where Santa shops, Amazon.
Of course he does. He sells them to Amazon, you mean?
Yeah. So yes, he got enough helicopters so everybody could have one and play with.
Well, excellent.
And then he got one of those ball things that looks like that has the helicopter blades on it that you turn on and let go, and it's supposed to fly up in the air and just hover over your hand. It's shaped like Mickey Mouse. This one. It flies up, but it doesn't hover over your hand.
It hit you in the head.
Yeah, it has a mind of its own. It just like goes off in different directions and crashes.
Oh man,
it was only $5 at Five Below, which is like my new favorite store.
Oh yeah, that's great.
I love that store. So anyway, that and he got all kinds of stuff. He got some big Optimus Prime truck that my brother gave him, and some Hot Wheels Bat Cave that he got. I'm like, where am I supposed to put all this stuff? So, and my wife made it because he's only 4 years. He just turned 4.
Yeah.
And my wife made the mistake saying, when we get back home, we're gonna go through our toys and give some away. And he's like, I have to give away all my new toys.
Yes.
Yes. But
We did
yeah.
that before. We set up a box and he put some stuff in, and supposedly it was our elf that brought the box. I don't know if I said this on
Oh
an
yeah, yeah,
episode,
yeah,
but
yeah. I think you did.
yeah. So he did pretty good with that, and we got rid of a few things. But
I like kept all my toys, so I don't want him to give away his toys. He can just keep them, and then when he's an adult, he can have all these toys and give them to his
well,
kids.
we've got so much junk. It's not
Yeah,
even. I mean,
but
I don't know.
so we had a good Christmas. I mean,
Good.
they did.
Yeah,
The kids had good
that's what's
Christmas. Of
important.
course, the little one, people gave her dolls and stuff, and she just threw those to the side and wanted to play with the box and bag and stuff.
Of course.
Yeah, but she likes to train. Yeah. So when we were out of town, though, we got to do a lot. I got to see some movies. I got to go to a movie with one of our old friends. Got to go see. If you're listening, I don't know if he's listening, but Greg Jones.
Jones.
We went and saw Aquaman. So this is. We're gonna have a lot of stuff coming up. Everything sort of got pushed back, but we're gonna hopefully have an Aquaman episode where we talk about that one, and I think it's becoming like the highest gross DC movie, maybe.
Wow.
So we got to see Aquaman. We got to see Mary Poppins Returns. I don't know if we'll talk about that, but we may. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was like your typical Disney movie where someone has to be dead. Like a parent has to be dead.
I was gonna say, was it a single parent?
Yeah, and I'm just like, come on, why? Like that was the whole movie based around. Oh, my wife is dead. Mary Poppins is coming to help. Like, oh gosh. And then yes, I saw those two movies, and then I saw I haven't seen it yet. I know I'm way behind on the times, but we watched The Greatest Showman. Um, it was good.
I wanted to watch it, and I still can. It's on HBO. We have
Yeah.
HBO. My wife watched it, and she told me about it later. She's like, I watched The Greatest Showman. I was like, oh, I wanted to watch that too.
Watch it. It's really good. If you like
I will.
musicals,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind.
it was so good that on the way back driving, I listened to the soundtrack like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah, I want to watch it. I didn't tell you. I attempted to watch, and I intend on going back. Attempted to watch Ready Player One because it's on HBO right now.
You still haven't watched that? Come on.
I fell asleep.
No.
Because that's what I do. That's why I don't watch movies very much, because I just fall asleep. By the time we get to where it's time to watch movies, the kids asleep.
You gotta watch that one because it's gonna be in the. I think I guess we'll still do this like we did last year. The Geekies will be coming up soon.
Oh.
Around Oscar time, we say forget the Oscars. We do the Geekies.
Yeah.
People have asked for it. They say, "Can you do it again?" It's so great.
Yeah. I mean, that's like right now, right? We need to.
Oh, we got to start planning it. I don't know when the Oscars are.
I think they're coming up like this week or something.
I'll find out.
Surely not. I mean, it's award season, right?
Yeah, well, they just
Oscars 2019. Google.
They're still trying to figure out what they're doing. Oh, it's not. It's February 24th.
Oh, we got time.
Yeah, we got time.
We got time, and it's on the West Coast, so we're okay.
Yeah. So the Geekies are coming up. We will have a host for the Geekies, unlike the Oscars, who this year will not have a host, and they've only done that one other time in the history of the Oscars, and I'm pretty sure it was really bad. So they're not going to have a host.
Is it because of the government shutdown?
No, it's because they were mad at Kevin Hart for doing something.
Oh.
I don't know what. People get so twisted and get their panties in a wad so easy. I don't even know what happened, but
I don't know either.
I don't keep up with that stuff.
Nope.
Anyway, so you gotta watch the Ready Player One because that's gonna be like one of my best pictures of the year, because that was probably, spoilers, but my favorite movie of the year.
Yeah, well, you've said that.
Yeah.
A few times.
Yeah, a few times. So you gotta watch that one. But yeah, so we and then this episode was supposed to be a week or two ago. and it was supposed to be an episode about Bandersnatch on Netflix.
Yes.
Which is like a choose your own adventure book made into a movie.
Yeah, they call it interactive because they've got a few interactive things on Netflix. They have a Puss in Boots interactive. It's like a year or two old, and it's okay. It's kind of lame. And then they have a Minecraft story on there that's interactive, and my son loves it, which he thinks he loves Minecraft, and he's played it like 2 or 3 times, but he loves that story mode thing. And so yeah, I hope they do more of these because I did enjoy it. I told you guys on text, I was like, I tried to watch it and I hated it, and, so and then we were like, let's talk about it. So I was like, okay, I'll watch it, and I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it watching it when it was just me, because I think that was part of it. Is my wife was not into it at all. She's like, this is dumb.
Yeah, I watched it with my wife and my parents, and yeah, so we'll talk about that, especially what it was like watching it with my parents and what they thought of it. So we're gonna do a Bandersnatch episode as soon as we get Chris well, because he watched it. So it's a movie that we've actually all watched.
Yeah, for
once. So we can talk about it. So we'll have an episode, a Bandersnatch episode coming up. We'll have an Aquaman probably episode coming up. And then there's all kinds of movies that are coming out pretty soon. I mean, you have Captain Marvel, the Avengers will be out later this, in a few months.
Have you seen, sorry to interrupt here, but the preview for, and I've not seen this on TV. I happened to just see it on Twitter. It's a modern day King Arthur type movie.
Is it with the little kids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The boy and his sword or whatever.
They had that on
The Kid Who Would Be King.
Aquaman. It was a trailer before.
It looks good. I think it'll be funny. The Kid Who Would Be King. Yeah. Like I could see my son being able to go to it. It seemed like it was okay. It's PG, I think. So I was like, I might actually go see that. Oh, because that's my struggle is like I am not like you, where I don't go to movies by myself or late at night.
You're saying I'm weird?
No. I wish I could. It's just the way our family works, and then again how I fall asleep in movies. I've got to go with my family, and because it's during the day, and we try to generally just everybody go. But so that's one that I could see, but I mean, it's probably not going to make any awards or anything like that. So,
that's my escape.
Really cool. Yeah,
everybody goes to bed. I have to go see a movie.
Yeah,
and I'm like, okay, no screaming kids.
Yeah,
but yeah, so there's a lot of movies.
For sure,
movies coming out. There's also video games. We got video games coming out. We got Kingdom Hearts 3 coming out, which hopefully I'll get that one. If you don't know what the Kingdom Hearts franchise is, it's basically Disney characters, and
is it an RPG game? I can't remember if it's or just like an adventure type game that you interact with Disney characters.
A little bit of both. It's like how would you describe it? Maybe sort of like Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy. That's what I was gonna say. Final Fantasy. Yeah.
But I played the other ones, and it was cool. It was cool to go because you get to go to all the Disney like worlds. So you get to go to like
Monster. Isn't there a Monsters Inc?
Probably. There's going to be a Toy Story one in this one.
Yeah.
You can usually go to like Under the Sea, Little Mermaid stuff, and Halloween Town, and all kinds of stuff. So I'll hopefully get that one and play it.
Yeah.
And then when there's other video game stuff coming out, and then Fallout has their big updates coming out.
Oh yeah. Supposedly there are 150 fixes in this update that's coming out tomorrow, January the 11th. Maybe it's today. I don't know. Whatever. So we'll see.
Is the update just called "My Bad"?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I read that you get to, one of the updates is that you can open your own shop, and you could be a vendor.
Interesting.
I read that earlier. Yeah.
I saw somebody on Twitter or somewhere that says, "Hey, please come to my camp. I've got food and and supplies for anybody that wants to come by. Like, I'll help out."
Sketchy.
No, I mean it's totally legit. Like there's people out there that are trying to help people that are new to the game, and
Yeah.
it because you know how it is. Like we play and it's like I don't I need to craft something. I can't find a workbench or
Yeah.
I need to unload because I'm all over encumbered and crap. So there are people out there that will do that. Now, unfortunately, there's people out there that go in and try to wreck things because they're jerks. But
You jerks.
yeah, but yeah, it sounds like they're gonna do 2 patches this month that will fix some glitches and correct some weirdness that happens with weapons and make it a little bit easier. So
Cool. Yeah, I'm the weird guy, the introvert that if I play alone, which I usually don't, I usually play with you guys, but there was a couple
yeah.
times so I'd get on alone and people would walk up to me and I would just hear somebody come on my earphones. Hey, Django, what's going on? And I'm like, I'm getting off. Bye.
See, I was thinking about that today actually because they were talking about the proximity chat, and I was like, I've never heard anybody talk to me, but I think I have mine turned off, so that doesn't happen. But I was showing my friend the game the other night. We had some people over, and I was like, yeah, check this out, and there was this creature attacking me, and I was way underpowered for it. So my gun ran out of bullets, so I switched to an axe, and I'm trying to hit it, and I kind of run off, and I'm kind of staying away, and the thing wasn't chasing me, so I'm okay. And there's this character that walks up in a power suit, which is they're high level and they can kill me very easily. But if I attack back at them or if they try to attack me. Most people that I've encountered have been pretty cool, but this person, they got out of their power suit, and they saw that I was in trouble. I think that first they wanted to fight me, but then they started to attack the monster that was trying to attack me. So I was trying to help, and I actually hit the person with my axe and didn't kill them, of course. And so they took it as, oh, it's on now. And it was a she character. Who knows if it was a she or he player, but they then decided they wanted to kill me and did so easily. Because if in this game, I don't know if you're not familiar with this, you can be attacked by other players, but it doesn't hurt you that bad. But if you retaliate, then you will start to lose life a lot quicker. And because I hit her with the axe, she did that, and it took caps away from me because I attacked her first. I'm like, really? So then I respawned, and she found me again, and she was able to kill me. I'm like, what in the world? And I didn't do anything, so I just respawned somewhere far away, and somehow I ended up right back where I'm like, what is going on? So I just gave up. I was like, forget this. This is ridiculous. Yeah. But most people have been pretty cool. So
I just run away and go, I'm getting off right now. I've got to
go. Yeah. Yeah.
But I had mentioned on another episode that I was getting Marvel vs. Capcom.
Nice.
Whatever it's called.
Yeah, Infinity War.
Infinite, or I don't know, whatever it is. I got it. I've only played it a couple of times. Because I was disappointed.
Really?
Yeah, the game's fun, but what I like about those fighting games or what I used to like about those fighting games, is that you could open up other characters. Mm-hmm. Like if you just got the base game, you could like open up new characters, like on Smash Brothers and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I saw characters like blacked out, and I was like, "Oh, cool! I could open up his characters." I'm like, "How do you do it?" And it turns out you can't open up the characters. You have to pay $8 per character.
That's crazy. I've seen those. Real money. Yeah. I've seen those on there, but I didn't realize you had to buy them.
Yeah. So if you want Venom, or if you want some of the other characters that I like to play with on the older games, you have to pay $8 per character.
Ooh.
So I haven't really played it that much. I think that's why it's gone down. Like now it's like under $19 some places, because people just don't want to keep paying and all this stuff.
Whereas we bought Mortal Kombat XL for $5,
and it included everything.
It includes everything, which is awesome. Did you finish that game, by the way, the story?
Mortal Kombat?
Yeah.
No, I
Or
haven't
did you do
started.
it?
I
You
did
didn't do
the
the story.
I did
Okay.
the
Okay.
DC the
That's right.
what's it called?
Injustice 2.
Injustice
Yeah.
2. I finished that
Yeah.
story. Or I
Cool.
thought I finished that story, but there's more. You can go back and
Oh.
play the other side of it. So
Um,
there's a point where you're either going to pick to be, it's sort of like the choose your own adventure.
yeah.
You're either going to go with Batman and be on his side, or you're
Okay.
going to go with Superman.
Yeah.
There's a point where you choose.
Yeah.
And so I chose Batman, and I played it out and finished the game. But then it's like, if you want to see other stuff, you can go back and pick Superman and do all those like
Okay.
storyline.
That's
So
cool.
it's pretty fun. I think
Yeah.
I like that one better than the other one.
I've gotten through a bit of it. I enjoy playing as Harlequin. I haven't gotten too far, or Harley Quinn. I said Harlequin, but she was fun to. I like her moves.
Yeah.
And then Arrow was pretty cool. I'm at the Arrow and Canary part, but
Gotcha.
but I did finish Mortal Kombat, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I need to do that one.
I liked the story on that. It was pretty fun. What's weird though is you don't do any of the fatalities in the story mode. You can only do those in like you're playing with other people or just solo. But yeah,
cool.
Yeah, great. Okay.
It was also announced today that Activision and Bungie are separating, and Bungie is going to have sole rights to Destiny. And they have committed that they're going to bring out new stuff and they're going to listen to their fans for the Destiny that's out now. So I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, everybody that has responded to it on Twitter when I looked at it after you said that, they were all excited because apparently Activision is crazy or not good. So I said, okay, well, great. And there was another company that they're teaming up with now. Forgot what it was called, but it wasn't one that anybody's, or at least I haven't heard of. So they plan on bringing out more. They had originally signed a contract to do 4 games between 2010 and 2020, and they've done 2 games, but they've done so much content they could have made that into 4 games. I mean, Destiny 1 had, of course, DLCs, and then it had was it called Rise of Iron or something like that, and then one other thing.
All stuff you gotta pay for.
But you had to pay for it, and it just seemed like a new game. It's like, why didn't you just call this Destiny 2? This part, whatever it was. And then why aren't we on Destiny 3 right now with Forsaken? Because it's essentially a new game. I don't know. It's not. I mean, it's just added content, but you had to pay for almost a whole new game. So
yeah. So we'll also have coming up, we'll probably have a Dollywood episode. If you're not familiar with Dollywood, Dolly Parton has her own theme park. You get to ride the mountains.
We've talked about it before too.
Yeah. So Chris and I went with our family, and so we'll give you a trip report on Dollywood and how it went. It was crowded, so we didn't get to do a whole lot. But we'll give you a trip report on that whenever Chris gets back. And then while I was in Gatlinburg with my wife, we ran away for a couple days. Left the kids with the grandparents for our anniversary. Ooh la la. And we stayed at Margaritaville. They have Jimmy Buffett has a resort in Gatlinburg, and it was so nice. Like, our room had a fireplace, huge TV, this huge, one of those fancy showers that has like shower heads everywhere.
Oh.
And you're like, there's water everywhere. And it overlooked like all of Gatlinburg and the mountains.
Cool.
It was really, so I highly recommend, if you're going to be in Gatlinburg, stay at the Margaritaville place. They have like one in Pigeon Forge too, which look nice too. But as far as places I've stayed there, that's the nicest place I've ever stayed in Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg. Because most of the places are like sketchy.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, and then they're old, and like there's some places that was so old there we'd go in, and they'd be like we went to the Pancake Pantry, which has been there forever, and they're like cash only. And I'm like,
oh god,
who does that anymore?
What year is this?
Yeah, what year is this?
You can do this on a cell phone or an iPad. Come on.
But it was like the best bacon I ever had. The bacon was so good. But I had cash on me. I never have cash on me, but I think my dad gave me some cash for something that I bought for him.
Nice.
So I had cash, so we got to eat pancakes and bacon and eggs.
It's close.
And they were good. But we went, it was rainy the whole time we were there, so we just enjoyed the room. And then we went to an escape room. And you've heard us talk about escape rooms on here before. I love them. I love to go
I
to
do
them.
too.
Yeah. It's just me and my wife going, which is, usually you're supposed to have like 6 or 8 people. It was just us. We went to one called The Captured in Gatlinburg. And basically it was like a horror themed one.
Oh.
So it was like creepy. And it was like you're invited over to this person's like mansion for dinner. And it turns out you're the dinner. They're cannibals, and they lock you in their cellar, and you have 60 minutes to escape. Like they give you a fighting chance. If you escape, they won't eat you. But if you don't escape, they eat you. So we're like, okay. So I went in there, and I wasn't a jerk, but I was just like, we went in to ask about it and if they had any availability, and I was like, yeah, I used to write these like for private escape rooms that I did for events and stuff. You ever want a private escape room?
Go to www.privateescaperooms.
Email me, and I've got all kinds of them.
Not sketchy at all. It's
no, I would do it for big groups, and like we would.
Oh, I know. It just sounds. Private escape room.
Private escape room. That's the name of this episode. Episode 86, Private Escape Room. Not like that. People would have events. They would have me come in, and I would sit up their building or whatever as an escape room.
There you go.
So I said, "Oh, I used to write escape rooms, and I would do these." And she was like, "Oh, we've got a pro here."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Here, you need to do this one, and because it's the hardest." And I was like, but they had like 2 there at this one, and it was like a part 1 and part 2. And she said, you need to do part 2 because it's way harder. And I'm like, but then I won't know what's going on because it's like a story. So we chose part 1, and it was really well done. It was like, it looked like you were in somebody's old creepy mansion basement.
Yeah.
And there was like, the props were excellent. They had like, it was fog. The only thing was like really foggy in there. And first, you're like, when the lights went down and you couldn't see anything, and they're like, okay, go, and you're like, I can't see anything. But it sort of started to dissipate. There was like a full like morgue like table with a body on it. And you had, one of the things you had to do was like rummage through the body. I won't tell you what. Yeah. And there was like a room you went into that just had this bloody bed and body parts all over the place. And
gee whiz.
There was a air, not air jets, but like you went through this one thing and like all this air would shoot at you, like you thought something was.
Yeah.
So it made you jump, and it was really well done.
Cool.
But I think they want. I told them we had a podcast, and I was like, "Yeah, we'll give you a plug. It's great." And so I think they gave us a little more clues than they usually do, because we'd be figuring stuff out, and we'd be like, "Okay, I think it's this," and then we'd hear boom bling, and they had this like TV that you would look, and they would say, and they would do, and they just like gave us hints without us asking.
Oh,
because you're only supposed to get 3 hints, and they would give us hints, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that's." Yeah. So we made it out.
Good.
Barely. We had like a few minutes left. But it was fun. I think it would have been more fun with more people, just because there was a lot you had to do.
Yeah.
A lot of different puzzles and stuff. And I would love to do the part 2, but we're going to do it. We came out of it and we said, "Can we do part 2?" And they're like, "Oh, sorry, you have to like reserve it 20 minutes before." And we're like,
"Well, we got 20 minutes."
It's like, why didn't you tell us that before we went in?
Yeah, we just spent an hour in this room.
Yeah, so we couldn't do the part 2 because we had to go. But it was cool. It was creepy. So shout out to the Captured. I can give you the web address here. Well, not you, but the listeners. but you can have it too. It's
Great.
thecaptured.com. A live escape experience. Opposed to a dead one.
Dead sleep.
You are invited to dinner. Can you survive?
No, well, don't make fun of it.
Oh, that was supposed to be my creepy voice.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Can you survive?
I didn't mean it like that. Here, I'll try it again. You are invited to dinner. Can you survive? Anyways.
Dude.
So we did chapter 1, which is the cellar, and they have chapter 2 called Scarlet's Room. So,
cool.
and all the review, this is like one of the, I think this is the top rated one in Gatlinburg.
Cool.
So, I liked it a lot. I would go back and do the part 2 if we lived near there, but I don't want to drive all the way back up there.
No.
There's a new one coming to Houston. The people that did the Houdini one, that if you go back and listen to our episode called Strange Bird or something like that, they're coming out with a new one.
Oh,
and that one was really good. So this is one that has actors in there with you doing stuff.
So. That's cool. Yeah, I've read about ones that are zombie rooms.
Yeah,
and they're tied to a wall, and as you go on through the hour, their chains get longer.
Yeah,
which I'm like, well, what are they going to do? You know, except just
they
kind
will
of
actually
distract you.
Eat your flesh.
Okay.
They did that on Big Bang. I think Big Bang Theory. They had that. They sort of made fun of that, and they went in one of those, and they solved the whole room in like 2 minutes, and the zombie was like, "What?"
Nice.
So hopefully I'll get to do more escape rooms. You're doing one tomorrow, right?
I am. It's going to be interesting. We have a work team builder event with our department. I'm in the IT department at my work, and I said we need to do a team builder. So we're going to a place in Bartlett called Bluff City Escape Rooms, and this is one that I talked about before. Bluff City. Well, so Memphis is the Bluff City.
Yeah. You should have called me. I could have come and done a private escape room.
No,
just for you.
Just for you. But no. Yeah. So it's we as a family, my wife and son, the three of us have gone and done a couple of their escape rooms, and they're really good. They have some really cool puzzles and effects that they do. So they don't have quite the budget of like Escapology. Like those are ridiculous how well those are done, but it's still fun. And the thing is, I've done 2 of their rooms, and they have 4 or 5. So I've got to go into a room that I've not been in before. So that'll be good. But I hope they keep building rooms, which they just opened one recently, so I won't run out, I guess, of rooms. But our son was wanting to go back sometime soon, so we'll do that with him as well. But
cool.
Yeah, we've got a little team builder. Most of the people have never done one, so it's going to be interesting how they all react. I hope they like it. I've kind of built it up. It's like, oh, you're going to love it. It's going to be great. You don't get locked in, really. You can get out. It'll be okay.
You should just freak out in the middle of it. I can't do this. I'm going to die.
Gotta get out of here. So
and they'd be like, what?
Yeah. We've got so many of these places in town. There's one that it's called Breakout Escape Rooms or Breakout Memphis or something like that, and it's almost all of their rooms have to do with handcuffs. Like you're locked to something. I was like, that
sounds like my private escape rooms that I went to.
But
man. Anyway,
we'll have to do one together sometime. We've never done one.
You gotta come down here.
I know.
There is this event that's happening in May.
I know.
Or you could go to escape room with me while you're here.
Yeah, I know.
Comic Palooza is coming back. We don't know if we're invited yet.
We're always invited. We don't know if we go for as press or as.
Yeah, so we don't know if we'll be going back as media again this year or not. They probably won't tell that until later. So hopefully at least part of us will be there. It may just be me walking around as. Then I truly will just be iamGEEK. It's just
just I.
I.
Man, I totally want to go. That was a really fun experience.
It's on my birthday this year.
It is your birthday, and that's yeah.
But you know, it'd be a good birthday present
for me to come down.
Yeah, for you. No.
Oh, okay.
No. Yeah, for you to come down
and go to Comic Plus. But it's Mother's Day weekend, so it's
which is a made up holiday to
13. I don't know.
Distract from my birthday.
And funny enough, my wife said, "Oh, it's fine. You go do that if you want to." I'm like, "No, I don't think I should."
No, it's not a trick. She really wants you to go. She's like, "You know what would be a good Mother's Day gift for me? You get out of town and just let me be.
Just leave. In fact, just don't come back."
No.
But we have Mother's Day tradition where we once again go to my in-laws, but we hunt snakes. They live on a farm, and the snakes start coming out in May because of the heat. So we illegally.
It's on the podcast now.
But the reason we do it is because they're a nuisance, so it's not illegal.
So is this a tradition that goes all the way back to the first mother?
Yes.
Eve.
Yes.
And that's why you kill the snakes.
So I kill the snakes because that's exactly right. No, we shot like 100 one weekend over the span of like 2 or 3 days. It was
Pete
ridiculous.
Is going to be on all over this one.
So yeah, it's fun. But
I would just if there was 100, if there was 100 snakes to be shot, I would burn the whole forest down. I'd be like, nope. I'm burning it down, and I'm never coming back here again.
Well, yeah. What's crazy is they get in trees and in the water because they're like it's cottonmouths and water moccasins, and they not high in trees, but like they're on branches that are above the water. That kind
burn it down. Just burn it all down. I would never go back. I would never go there. If that was my in-laws, I'd be like, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fun though.
I'm never going to your parents' house. Ever.
There was one time. My wife got a real kick out of this. We were fishing, and in this boat, and they tell me like, watch out when we get around the trees because there could be snakes in the trees, like on the low branches. And I was like, okay, this is like when I first new to the family, right? And I'm just like, okay, and all of a sudden this butterfly flies around us, and I was like, oh god. She's like, it's a butterfly, chill out. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know. I just saw something. Could have
been a snake with wings.
Could have been a snake with wings. But that was the first time I'd ever caught any fish in my life because I've fished like a few times in my life, but since I've been married, I've fished a lot because they have all this outdoor things to do there. But we went to I think it was her uncle's reservoir on her uncle's farm, and we fished, and he stocks it with catfish and all this stuff. And you basically just set your line out into the water. You don't cast or anything like that or have to do all this fancy stuff. We just had worms on the line, and they just come up and basically jump in the boat. I mean, they just grab.
They're trying to get away from the snakes. They're like, give me the boat.
Yeah. I mean, it was crazy. We caught so many. But it was so bad because I've not fished much. But I didn't know how to take it off there, so I was like, "Oh, I can't get it around here to grab it. Can you grab it for me?"
I would do the same thing.
I had my father-in-law do it. I was like, "Now I've gotten to where I'll kind of do it, but it's like these brim. I don't know if you've ever caught brim before, but they have very sharp fins. Like it's that fans out, And if you don't do it right, you can cut your hand pretty bad. And that was always what I'm worry about, and I can't ever do those either. I'm terrible.
Yeah,
so.
I don't fish or hunt. I just watch movies and wrestling and stuff.
Hey, right.
I had to do with private escape rooms. People.
Oh man! Speaking of wrestling, man, Mean Gene.
Oh,
Mean
you got to bring it down, don't you? Yes, Mean Gene Okerlund, the greatest.
Yeah. What do you call him?
Or whatever you want to call him.
No, he didn't announce. He was just interviewer. Yeah.
Yeah, all time. He passed away sadly.
Yeah.
Um,
74 years old.
Let me tell you something, Mean Gene. Hogan came out. He came back and did a thing
Yeah.
on Raw to remember him. And
Yeah.
man, I grew up watching Mean Gene, so that was a hard one. I was like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
So I think but it's, a lot of the people I grew up with have passed on.
Grew up watching on.
Yeah.
Not the people he's grown up with. Somehow they've all died.
They've all died in my private escape rooms. You remember that Saw movie? It was based on my life.
Yeah, that's right. It's kind of like an escape room, right?
There's an escape room movie coming out, and
yeah,
I might watch it when it comes out on demand or something. I'm not going to go to
Yeah.
the theater for it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Netflix movies coming out. I think one of our segments we may start doing is just like um, uh, what to watch on Netflix this week, and we'll just pick something.
What you streaming?
At least, yeah, what you streaming? There's a lot of movies coming out. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of weird movies coming out too.
Yeah.
There's one called, I forget what it's called, but it's Jake Gyllenhaal, and it's like a horror movie where paintings come to life and kill people. I'm like, huh, well, that's interesting. But yeah, there's one about everybody, the human race moving to one of Jupiter's moons. All kinds of different genres and stuff coming out. So maybe we'll do a Netflix what you streaming section.
What you streaming? We can have a little soundbite. What you streaming, fool?
Yeah, let's write that down. We're gonna change the whole format of the show while Chris is gone. He's gonna come back and be like, "What's going on?
What you streaming?"
Well, I'm 40 years old, so going to the bathroom's a exciting occasion now.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll have some more animators and guests on as the year goes along. It's funny that we were going to make this a short episode and we've been talking.
Well, we've always said
minutes,
that, and it always happens. I mean, Chris, the Geekmas episode was supposed to be like a 30-minute or 10-minute thing or something, and it was like an hour and a half, like usual. So
there was some more stuff from Galaxy Edge announced, as I just randomly throw that in. There was a what's his name accidentally dropped maybe the opening of the Disneyland one.
Yeah,
he said it was opening in June. So
yeah,
and Disneyland should be opening in June, and they're still saying late fall for Disney World, which we have passes that run out in October, so we'll probably try to go back sometime, but it won't be open. The new Mickey ride may be open when we go back.
Yeah, and the Skyliner is supposed to be this fall too, so you never know. They're testing it now. They've got the buckets out. They're going across, and so that's coming along. There was some news about the Star Wars hotel too. I thought, but I can't find it. Well, they said the Space Hotel, so maybe that was something different. But I was like, I don't know what else, but I can't find it now. So maybe it was an old article.
Space Wars Hotel,
No.
I don't know. I'm still not super excited about Galaxy's Edge. I don't know why. I'm sure once it's open, I'll be. I mean, I wasn't excited for Toy Story Land really, but when I went there, I was like, "Oh, this is really fun."
Yeah, I mean, I guess what gets me is you're not gonna be able to get to it for a long time. I mean, it's ridiculous how many people are packing in there these days. I mean, it's good, I guess, for them, but of course they just raised prices again at Disneyland. And I was telling my wife today, I was like, will they ever bring them back down, or do you think they'll always go up? I mean, and we all keep going, but eventually it's going to be where,
as long as people are going, they'll keep raising the prices.
Well, and yeah, it's Yeah, we'll keep going. But I
Yeah,
mean, but those new lands, I mean, especially Hollywood Studios, just that whole park is it's going to be hard to get into for at least a year and a half or so. I
yeah,
would
probably.
imagine because you're getting, and everybody says this, you're getting the people that are Star Wars fans, plus you're getting Disney fans that like Star Wars. So you're
Yeah,
going to get, which is great for Disney because they're going to get people who have never been to Disney World before because they just want to go to see this new thing, and experience that. I don't know if that's going to be as big as what everybody says, but with new people going
yeah,
because it's so daggum expensive, just for a day to go to Disney World, it's
yeah,
over $100, or whatever it is.
yeah. I could see myself going down there sometime after it opens to check it out, but I'm not taking my family into that mess.
No.
No, because like even like Toy Story, the
Yeah.
Slinky Dog ride, and still Pandora,
Yeah.
Flight of Passage, the waits were like 300 and something minutes.
Yeah. I think the only way, because these are still they're really successful still, is the only way I could do it, I think, is the after hours.
Yeah,
They're doing the after hours at all of the parks now, I think, or every once in a while, like they're moving it around, or early hours
yeah,
too, I guess. But they're trying it out, and they're going to have to do that at Star Wars. But I mean, there's still, you can go to an after hours at Magic Kingdom and nobody's there, and that really kind of shocks me. As busy as it is, that more people don't take advantage of that. It is a premium, and it's only 3 hours extra. Like you can get in there early
yeah,
and do some things, and then you're there. But like those extra events, you get free, all kinds of free food and stuff with that. Or well, food. I mean, it's free because you paid for it.
yeah. It's they get
The
their
premium.
money.
But I imagine a lot of people, if they do a premium event like that, either early or after hours, which I could see them doing after hours since it's space, right? It doesn't matter if it's day or night there, but
Yeah,
that people will take advantage of that, of going to see that. But
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. And
I
there's
don't
a
know.
new hotel. The Riviera will be open this fall.
Yeah, it's all kinds of. Yeah, they're building another one over at Wilderness Lodge area.
Did you see the new rooms at the Caribbean Resort? They just finished their renovations, and it's nice. I don't know if
Huh,
you probably saw the Pop Century ones, right? Where it's just real modern and
probably.
clean cut and everything. It's the same, but the rooms are bigger, and it looks really nice.
Cool.
So it's coming back around.
Coming back around. Also at Galaxy's Edge, supposedly there's going to be a store where you barter with an animatronic about how much you pay for stuff.
Oh,
I'm like,
that's not gonna last.
what? So there's gonna be an animatronic, and you're like, I'll give you $5, and they're gonna go, ha, this is Disney. No,
Yeah,
you give me $50.
yeah, yeah. And I heard somebody talking about how they say that everything's interactive with this, right? Supposedly, if you depending on how well you do on the Millennium Falcon ride, for instance, um, it could affect you in different ways in the park. And they're like, how do you track that? But supposedly they'll be able to do some things on the app with the ride and all. I don't know. And somehow when you interact with some character, or maybe when you look at the phone later, you can see something. It'll do some weird message. I don't know. But they did say that I don't know if it was people speculating or if this was actually a thing, but it won't affect you if somebody else doesn't do their job. Because
Uh,
if you remember that you each have a seat in the Millennium
yeah,
Falcon, and yeah, so as long as you do what you're supposed to be doing, you'll get your good score or whatever. So other people can't mess it up
yay.
for you because that would be a bummer. But yeah, but our next trip's is planned for Disneyland,
Yeah,
which hopefully by that time it's still going to be crazy there because that park's just smaller anyways, or those, I guess those parks, there's the two, right? um
oh, if we can all go together to Disneyland, I saw a
yeah.
video of the room that we need to get.
Oh.
I'm sure it's cheap. Uh, if you watch, I don't know if you've ever seen Justin Scard Random Land on
Yeah.
YouTube, but he does like Disney and stuff, and he got access to the Adventureland suite
Mm-hmm.
in the Disneyland hotel, and it's like the nicest hotel I've ever seen. It looks like you're in Adventureland. It's got the tiki mask on the wall. It's got everything. You need to watch this video. And he goes into the bedroom, and it's got the the netting, like mosquito netting, big huge king size bed. And then it goes into, it's got a tub in the bedroom, like like a cloth tub that you can sit there and watch people take baths. I don't know why. And then he goes into the bathroom, and it shows this big huge shower, and then he's like, "There's a door in the shower," and he opens the door, and there's this big room with like this, looks like you're in a cave with all these shower heads and stuff on the other side of the shower that does the steam thing.
That's crazy.
And then the other bedroom looks like a tent, like you're out on safari. And I'm sure it's really cheap.
Yeah,
we'll just all go into that.
It sounds like it would be cheap.
It's got a living room with a fireplace. Well, each room had a fireplace, I think.
No, I tell you. So I started looking at the pricing for this because I was like, I need to know what I'm getting into here. And there is a Anaheim Hilton, that's 15 minutes away, walking distance. And we can pay the same amount. Looking at this May, like I was just like, for instance, let's look at right after school's out, what would it cost, and we could get in the Hilton for the same price we pay for Pop Century, so like $170 or so a night, which isn't bad. And because everything I've heard is that you don't really get much like you do at Disney World. Like at Disney World, there's so many perks for staying on site. But at Disneyland, some of the hotels are better that are not Disney. And like you can walk in 15 minutes and be at Disneyland if you stay at another hotel, So there's no transportation, I don't think. So there, you don't have that perk. You don't have all these things. Yeah. So I don't know. And I was able to find flights that weren't too bad. So I think it's going to be doable.
Our points, our DVC points.
Oh yeah, y'all be able to do whatever, but for us,
but yeah, I want to go out there. What are we going to do in California? Is California going to welcome two guys like us?
Of course they will. They'll probably sit there and it's like, can you guys talk for a minute?
Hey everybody. Hey y'all.
So speaking of Greg Jones, I remember a story of he and a bunch of people we know went north. They went to Michigan to, what is that called? Cedar Point? Yeah, they went to Cedar Point. They went to New York or something like that. But he said they were in a restaurant somewhere up north, and it was just like a McDonald's or something. And they were talking, and there was this lady sweeping, and she was like sweeping a lot around them. It looked like she was just sitting there listening to them talk, to them talk, because they're all,
funny.
They're country boys, their accents.
Yeah, we're hillbillies. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeehaw. Which, going back to Tennessee for like a month.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, like it was. I was like,
yeah.
It's like, wait a second, like what? What? I won't say anything. But yeah, different.
Yeah.
But one last thing, then we gotta go. We're over an hour.
Oh my gosh.
We talked about it on our last episode that 42 people listened to. Go back and listen to it. We talked about all cool toys that we grew up with. It was fun. Or don't do it. Whatever.
Do whatever you want.
Anyways, one of the toys that we mentioned, and I'm like, I want this, was the koosh ball. The koosh ball. That's how we say it in Tennessee. Koosh ball. It means something different in Tennessee. I was like, I want a koosh ball. Like, what if they still make them? Well, I was in Johnson City. I was walking through Target, and what is there in front of me? A koosh ball. So I bought one. I bought me a koosh ball. So whoever, all our listeners is searching for them for me. I found one. You don't have to search any longer.
No longer.
I about bought
a
koosh ball for you and a koosh ball for Chris, but I was like, they don't want koosh balls.
They don't want koosh balls. No.
I think I have it right here. Our listeners can't see it. But...
Yeah, we can hear it, I guess.
No, not really. Goofball.
Most of those toys that we were on those top lists, they still make them, in some form. You can still get Simon, I'm sure.
There's the goofball. Makes no sound.
I remember that sound. Not really.
Is it making a sound? I don't even know.
Yeah, I heard a little bit. Yeah, it just sounded like static or something. But most of those toys, like the Rubik's Cube, you can still get. My son got a scooter, the Razor scooter for Christmas, and you can get Transformers and Nintendos. You can get the Nintendo Classic, right? You can get a Nintendo Switch for Pete's sake. You can get Pete's sake. You can't get Walkman so much anymore, but you can. Portable audio is still a thing, I guess.
Hair wrapped around my koosh ball. You never want
that's
that.
Gross. That's really gross. So yeah, that's yeah.
Anyways, all right. So remember, if you want to book your private escape room through Ryan's Private Escape Rooms, send me an email.
We handle it discreetly. All correspondence will be in a plain envelope.
Your credit card will appear. Totally normal escape room.
Not the private one.
Oh, man. Anyways. So you got anything else? You good?
We're good, yeah.
That's a good way to end.
I think it's a good way to end.
This episode is sponsored by Ryan's Private Escape Rooms, where handcuffs are required. Anyway. All right. Well, thank you for joining us for episode 86. It was a little random one. We'll be back hopefully next week with Chris. Hopefully he'll be well enough. So get better, Chris.
Get well soon, Chris. I know you're listening.
If you're not better by next week, we'll do some kind of benefit concert for you or something.
Yeah, he's going to need it if he's taking off this much of work. It sounds like.
We'll do a Hands Across America benefit. For you. Anyways, all right. Thanks for listening, and I look forward to
a prosperous new year.
Yeah, prosperous 2019 of iamGEEK. We'll talk at you real soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.